I have not seen any evidence of actual collusion. Where is the actual crime that they think they need a special prosecutor to prosecute? I haven't seen that. There's been a lot of flailing, but that flailing started before January 20th.
Harvard law professor Alan Dershowitz. Good to see you, Alan.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me on.
Alan, what evidence do you see of collusion? Do you see anything?
Well, first of all, I don't see any evidence of collusion. But second, even if there was major collusion, that's not a crime. Even hypothetically, if the administration or the candidate got together with the Russians and said, please help me become president, do whatever you can to help me, that wouldn't be a crime. It would be terrible politically, but it wouldn't be a crime.
Why?
And that's why I think the appointment of this special counsel is more window dressing than anything else. He has very limited jurisdiction. He can only look at crimes, and the most serious allegations that have been made have nothing to do with criminal conduct. Collusion with the Russians is not criminal. Leaking information to the Russians that may have hurt the security of one of our allies, intelligence services, that's not a crime. Firing the director of the FBI, that's not a crime.
Wait, Alan, hang on just a second. Why, the media is going hog wild saying this would be a crime, collusion, and we don't know what the nature of the collusion would be.
I challenge anybody in the media or in the legal process to show me the statute that would be violated if there was collusion. Remember that Ronald Reagan colluded, you could say, with the Iranian regime before the election to make sure that the hostages weren't released until after he was in office. We've had many, many instances. It would be terrible politically, but unless somebody can show me a statute, the only way we have crimes in this country is to show a specific criminal statute, and it just isn't there.
Mueller's known for his independence. Many are saying this is the right step at this point, Alan. Special counsels, it looks like they can pursue all sorts of leads, not even about Russia. I mean, remember the shady land deals in Arkansas led to sex scandals under Clinton, right?
But those were all alleged criminal acts. And here, what we're talking about is political acts. Take, for example, what I think is the most serious charge against a sitting president, namely that he inadvertently dropped the name of the city that we collected information, intel, from about laptop computers and bombs. That may have led the ISIS people to identify who the spy was. That would be terrible, but it wouldn't be a crime.
Let me give you a hypothetical, though, Alan.
Sure.
Let me just give you this theory, that the Trump campaign knew that Russia was going to hack into the DNC. Is that a crime?
No, I don't think so. Knowing is not a crime. If they helped them hack into the DNC, yes, that would be a crime. But I'm sure that didn't happen. And, again, the idea that you just think that something is a crime because it's bad just defies what civil liberties is all about. Civil liberties requires that before you indict somebody, you have to show a specific statute, a specific intent, an act, an omission, and a mens rea, a mental state. And I just don't see this at all. I think we're going to end up with a 2-year investigation. Maybe you'll have an indictment of Flynn or somebody else who's a former administration member, and then the president will probably pardon him. So I don't think we're going to go anywhere on this special counsel investigation.
Alan, could Mueller ask for memos that Comey wrote about Obama or Hillary Clinton?
Of course. Well, not only can Comey ask for them, you can ask for them.
I mean, Mueller could ask for them, right?
Everybody can ask for them. Congress can ask for them. They're property of the United States government. Unless the president claims executive privilege, which I don't think he can do, I think those memos will come out. And I don't think there was taping in the Oval Office. If there were, I don't think the president would have so categorically stated that he didn't say to Comey, why don't you let it go? I think Comey's contemporaneous memorandum are going to be believed.
Alan, James Comey said under oath on May 3rd, he testified he was never asked to stop an investigation for political purposes. Let's listen to this soundbite.
Sure.
So if the Attorney General or senior officials at the Department of Justice opposes a specific investigation, can they halt that FBI investigation?
In theory, yes.
Has it happened?
Not in my experience, because it would be a big deal to tell the FBI to stop doing something that without an appropriate purpose. I mean, oftentimes they give us opinions that we don't see a case there, and so you ought to stop investing resources in it. But I'm talking about a situation where we were told to stop something for a political reason. That would be a very big deal. It's not happened in my experience.
You know, Comey's still silent amid growing calls to testify, Alan. What do you think?
Well, I don't think he's going to necessarily testify because Mueller, who is his close friend, may say to him, look, we want to investigate this, and it'd be much better if we could investigate it before you lock yourself into testimony. It would be very good if he did testify, because I think the main thing is to get the information out to the American public. That's much more important than seeing if you can prosecute some low-level former members of the administration. And that's why I would have preferred to see an open investigation by a special investigatory committee of the kind that looked into 9/11 and the Challenger disaster. I think that would help us get to the bottom of what happened without focusing only on whether anything was criminal.
But now we're prosecuting in the press these accusations that are tantamount to a conviction without, any accountability, right? I think
that's right. And look, I don't agree with the president when he says this is the worst witch hunt. I remember McCarthyism. But I do think that we're having trial by press, and I do think that the media is being very sloppy in assuming that everything bad that happens is a crime. That's just not the case. And we have to be very careful not to expand criminal statutes, especially broad ones like obstruction of justice, so as to really raise problems of civil liberties and fairness.